Xanya.
Thank you very much for the nice introduction. I'm going to be talking about gene expression, like the previous speaker, but from a very different point of view. Can gene expression protect us from aging, and is anti-aging ready for gene expression? This is a review of 430 articles. I have no conflict of interest. This at the background is my books that have been translated in 9 languages. Now, what is genes? Genes are dormant and silent until they are actually expressed. And just to give you a little bit of an understanding of how this happens, it happens through signaling mechanisms through inside the body. So signaling is a very important aspect of gene expression. So from the gene, it goes to the cytoplasm and makes the proteins. And gene expression basically is like an on-off switch that switches the gene to come on. And then it's a very important other part, the volume control of the gene, how much of this gene is expressed. Because you can express a gene at a certain amount, and then that's anti-aging. But if you express it a little bit more, then it's inflammation, which is the exact opposite of anti-aging. So there is a miraculous life change with gene expression, like it happened to Gauguin. They expressed the gene of art when he was 50, after he was only a businessman, and that he became a very famous painter. And of course, there is the deleterious effect when people express a gene at a certain age due to stress or other factors, and they exhibit schizophrenia. So gene expression does not always mean that it's a good thing. Okay, it can bring beauty, or it can bring inflammation. So very important to know is that in a lot of studies finding now that gene expression in the young and the old are very different. So the same gene can be very protective and very positive in a young age. And as you can see, the difference between the blue and the red, you see at a certain age, it starts getting reversed. It kind of changes. So then it becomes deleterious. So the other very important aspect of gene expression is the QTL, and it's the position that the gene has. And a large number of studies have investigated the expression of the QTL, the quarterly trait loci. That is very important because that makes the difference between what will be good for anti-aging and what will not be good for anti-aging. And what controls the rate of expression, the several things, signaling interplay is one of the main aspects that controls gene expression. And of course you have nucleosome dynamics, and you have signal sent for protein. The proteins, chaperone proteins, determine what genes will be expressed and how these genes will be expressed. And it's a very complex process. Gene expression is very complex, and it involves signaling that we don't know very much about these days. So there are several available methods of inspecting gene expression. That's protein-to-protein interactions, and that is basically investigated with a system is called HISP, the Hybrid Intelligent Approach that identifies directed signaling pathways. And that will give you how gene expression is done and how you can control gene expression, because it cannot be controlled at the moment. We don't know much about genetics. Remember all these products with the telomerase that they were trying to kind of stop the aging process by stopping the degeneration of the telomeres. Well, it turns out that people that have a gene defect, the POT gene, they have longer telomeres. And you would expect them to not to age. The exact opposite. In fact, they showed a lot of incidents of very severe illnesses and primarily cancers. 15 out of 17 of these people developed cancers. So we don't know much about gene expression. We don't know much. We don't know what we don't know, let's put it this way. And that's the one message that I would like to deliver to you today. Now, we have found longevity genes, that's Ph.D. and the FOXO3 that is involved in protecting the system from getting cancer, because everyone, all of us have cancer cells, but we don't develop cancer because our immune system is capable of fighting this damaging illness. And then you have a lot of research that the previous speaker spoke about with energy devices touting gene expression. And well, all trauma generates gene expression. And actually, a lot of things generate gene expression. Every time you see a difference in somebody's skin, there has been gene expression. Every time you see hair growth, there has been gene expression. So gene expression is a lot more common than we know. And this is the same study that the previous speaker spoke about the energy devices. They did not find collagen, so they did look at gene expression instead. The problem with this study that I found, there's a few problems. Number one is that they did not find any of the longevity genes. However, they named some of the genes they found as rejuvenation genes. And the ZMSDE24, actually, if it's overexpressed, it creates inflammation. And there's no mechanism to control the overexpression of the gene. We don't know when a gene is expressed or overexpressed, depending whether it's a young person or an old person and which person it is. Other problems is that there are contradicting genes like the IGF-1 and the NGF4, that one involves growth and the other one stops the growth. So it's just one cancels each other out. And there was some other aspects that seem to increase inflammation. So this is when you look at studies very, very carefully. Now, gene therapy is the promise that can revolutionize everything, not just aesthetics, but also medicine. And basically how you do it is you take the gene and you package it in bacteria or in other kind of things that can transmit it in the system, and you basically inject it into the donor. And you have what we call genome editing, that you can basically correct different genetic disorders, and it has been extremely useful for that. But then you get into all these ethical issues of eugenics that can kind of be a double-edged sword. And there has been now an ethical consideration and control on genetic testing and genetic expression that says the only thing that can be changed is the specific mutation that you want to change, but nothing else. So that basically leaves aesthetic medicine out. Now, there is a lot of articles recently that, again, the CRISPR wars that we call it, that we know that there is a gene expression that can cure cancer, but it's exactly it can do the exact opposite, enhance cancer. And so this gene expression can be actually more dangerous than nuclear weapons if it lands in the wrong hands. Now, use of lifestyle can also change genes. So we don't have to go into energy devices. Lifestyle, exercise, good nutrition will have a positive gene expression. And basically the environment triggers genes that have to the control for BMI, control for obesity, and other factors. And these are all genes that can be expressed through our lives. And you can, a couple more minutes. And we can upregulate genes as well with probiotics. effortless exercise, we've done a study in London University, and we found a gene expression after just effortless exercise. And also, gene expression can be done with resonance energy transfer, the RET that we call it. Basically, you have the donor and the acceptor, and this is some more slides to give you some understanding. This is how you can see this energy transfer under the microscope on cells. You can see it there. And basically, coordinated activity, we can create kind of an understanding of how we can create gene expression therapies that also take into consideration the circadian rhythms of cells, because that's the Nobel Prize of 2017 that takes in consideration. This is just some studies on eczema that make a big difference, and some other studies on keloids, and an article I recently published. And with this, I would like to thank you for letting me give you this information. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do you think that this technology could be soon available in our offices?
It is actually available, the RET technology is signaling, resonance, energy transfer technology, and it is available. But we're still improving it, and I'm basically in the science part of it and trying to contribute in that research.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Next speaker will be Dr. Arnold Al-Issa. She will speak about exosomes in dermatology, bridging the gap